Hello, today I'm going to share with you my 5 handyman tips or plumbing tips. Little tricks that I've picked up along the way to make my job a little bit more easier and streamlined. So most of the toilets I do are attached to the wall with screws. Those screws tend to rust and it makes it very difficult for a screwdriver to get them out because they just sort of disintegrate. So if the screw heads are just too damaged and I can't unscrew them, I'll just get a multi-tool and I'll just cut those off at the wall behind the cistern. I'll put on a nice big dab of silicone behind there. That'll be as strong as your screws. That'll hold everything in place. And when it comes to changing this again, if you need to remove the cistern, you can always get a Stanley knife or a box cutter and just simply cut that away. So amalgamated tape is great. It kind of stretches, it sort of adheres to itself. It's great for leaks on pipes, hose pipes, waste pipes, and tools. But I found a new use for it, and that is around the rubber connectors that go into the toilets. You have one coming from your cistern and you have another on your waste pipe. So these pipes have these fins on them, and what happens is inside the toilet, once they're pushed inside the holes in the toilet, they tend to create a watertight seal, but over time they tend to relax or set in place, and then if you disrupt them, the water will then come out. So what I would do then is I would just take my amalgamated tape and I would just run that around it. I'm not going to do it because this is brand new. I'm going to waste tape on it, but you would run that tape around there. That would then just build that up a little bit just to give you another tight fit, and that will give you a little temporary fix until you can get to the hardware and get yourself another one of these little flush pipe connectors. I have endless trouble with loose toilet seats. And most of the time, it's not the toilet seat, it's normally the hardware. Either the screws come loose or you get a bit of moisture underneath the bracket, underneath the rubber that holds the toilet seat down. So once again, what I'll do is I'll use the silicone, and here's your rubber gasket, which should in theory not slide, but it does if it gets a bit of moisture under it. But to create a nice permanent fixing, I'll just put a dab of that there. And then put him through there. And there you go. So there's plenty of videos online on how to fix a dripping tap. Basically, you just need to change a gland in your tap. It has a small washer on the front which perishes and it allows water to seep through. It's basically an easy fix. The problem is getting that gland out, because after a couple of years, that gland is seized into your tap and it's a real job unscrewing it. So tip number 4, how do we get this gland out without wrecking the bathroom? So what you need to do here is you need to pull them towards each other, and you need to use your tap to compress your tool, because if you simply just pull, this tap is going to start spinning around, and then you've got an even bigger problem, because getting to that nut underneath that holds the tap down is another one of my headaches. You want to keep this tap in its position. The best way to do that is to clamp this together, is to pull this together. Now it's going to hurt your hand if it's quite a tight fit. And to be honest with you, I actually haven't changed this one before. So I know that this is going to be quite seized up. So put something around the tap for your hand. You don't need to have it far away, because basically you're just trying to get it started. So wrap something around there, like so. So you've got a bit of padding, and then use both hands to compress that. Oh, oh. So you want to squeeze that, and you want to push that. But you want to keep this tap still. Put your tap back on.
And then you turn your isolation valve back on. Oh. Isolation valve back on.
So 1 in 3 of us has experienced a leak in the last 12 months at a cost of just over £600. So it's important that you know where your stopcock is or your shut-off tap so that you can isolate the water to your house if you do have a leak. Most houses will have it under the kitchen sink or in the bathroom. In this one, it's in the bathroom. But if you can't find your isolation valve or you have a problem with your stopcock, you do have another point where you can turn the water off. That's outside, normally somewhere like your driveway, outside your property or inside your property.
So here we have the isolation tap, and normally you just turn it clockwise and that'll isolate your water to the house. Like I said, if you can't find this stopcock inside your house, you can always go outside where you should be able to find another isolation point. If this is stiff, and sometimes they are because we don't use them very often, I tend to use the back of a wrench just to get it going, get some leverage on it. This one's pretty good, but I have had some stiff ones.
If you like that video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.